presentation is generally available. And so they finally came to the conclusion that it is possible to normalize school board scores. And on this basis, so I'm just skipping all 5 questions. So that's the reason I'm just defining the boundary. The second one will be, should there be one common exam? The third is to do with the weightage. And the next one is that should it be a 2-tier system? Should it be a eligibility criteria based system? And then finally, who should administer the exam? Okay. Because, in this recommendation that HRD has given, they're saying that it will be CBSE that will administer the exam. So those are the 5 areas that I have split into. I'm sure there will be some overlap and we'll go back and forth, but broadly these are the 5 areas. Yeah, so the first question, should HRD be really trying to tinker into the entire system, or should we just, let a thing which has been working so well continue? And is it only an issue which is just IITs, or we have to look at the overall engineering education, we need to look at the social impact and so on. By the way, I as a moderator will give you opposing point of views also. Okay, so I have my own views, but it will be my duty to sort of suppress my views, but to actually keep on giving you the views for and against various kind of issues which are there. So who wants to go first on this? Hari.
When I was saying in 1970 was the April May weekend where they gave the entrance test, about 35 years later, 2005, I was on a flight from New York to San Francisco, and got chatting with the person next to me, white Anglo-Saxon, and he was asking me what you do, and we were talking about stuff, and so I said IT, I'm in IT. So he said, did you go to IIT? I said, yes. And I said, how did you connect? So he said, I was an investment banker, and during the boom days, when the dot-com boom was on, we had a very simple criterion for the first round of screening of all the business plans that came to us. We told the person, we had a secretary, who was told, just look at the CTO's name and his qualification. And if it didn't have IIT against that, drop it. So, and I said, that's interesting. But then he said, you know what, I really wish I'd gone to IIT. So, the kind of brand you guys have built up, what you guys stand for in terms of the success you've done here, is something completely amazing. So I said, thank you very much. All this. And after I asked him, what have you done in life? He said, well, I'm an investment banker, as I told you. Well, I did my engineering in MIT, where I was a techie for a while, then did an MBA from Harvard and gone to investment banking. I said, you're MIT, Harvard, and you said you want to be an IIT? He said, it's not about MIT or Harvard, it's what you have created here in this country, not your country, about the brand and what you are considered in terms of what you can deliver to anything that you actually, any area of endeavor that you really engage in. Now, why I'm saying this story, why it's coming to my mind is, there is a certain unique brand identity place that this institution, and therefore anything that gets associated with the institution is created, not just in this country but in many parts of the globe. And so for an IT, everything went very well, and they found out about it too late, and then by the time the good stuff was already done. Again, this system, left alone, autonomous by itself, has done something that surely no other educational institution or system in this country has done anywhere in the country or outside. So fundamentally, I think for anybody outside the system, and primarily the government of India or the ministry, to believe that they need to impose or intervene in this process, in my mind, is completely counterproductive and not required. Now, after that, other questions I think are relevant, we should debate that, but fundamentally, can you just leave it to the IIT system to figure out what the issues are and find answers for it, rather than get into a process of finding answers to issues that may or may not impact something within the IIT system. That's my basic
Yeah, I mean, I asked the question first that someone thought of having a entrance exam for the IITs. And someone thought about that when the IITs were formed in the 50s. They must have had a reason. And I think we should go back and look at those reasons and then decide if we want to change it or not. I don't know the reasons, but there must have been a reason at that. That's number one. Number two, IITs, I mean, I know when I got into IIT, they generally believed that the school system didn't teach you a damn thing, and they had to redo your trigonometry and they had to redo a lot of your math. Right or wrong is a difference. But as long as engineering educators believe that the school system is not giving you the right education, they will want a separate exam from the school system. Or the school system has to change if that's what they're training people for, engineering and various other things, to be able to make them compatible. I mean, I think of the US, and I don't know how good it is, but they have, you can do an advanced chemistry and you can do advanced physics, which are college level courses even when you're in school. I'm not sure our schooling system is that flexible or can adapt to that, but I think we should worry about that and think about that. I think the third thing I wanted to say, it's work. And why would you want to fiddle with something that's not right? And finally, I'm not sure how do I put this? I think what we are trying to do is fiddle with the process to solve another problem. I think the problem they have is that the training institutes are making too much money. Kids are giving up their school life to get to work for the JEE. Say 500,000 kids do training, only 15,000 of them get in. The other 435,000 actually just give up their life in some way. It's a big cultural shock for them. So it's a social problem. I fully agree with that. We need to find a way of solving that problem, not fixing the exam or not changing the process, but actually go back and look at what can solve that problem. Not run away from that problem and try and fix something that doesn't really isn't the cause of that problem in some ways.
Well, the JEE was thought of because the IITs very soon found out that the high school marks are highly variable and there was no logical way by which they could compare the mark given by the those days Madras Presidency with the Bombay or UP or whatever it is. So they had to have some common test. That's how the JEE came in. But there is a need to change the system now because far too much of coaching is taking place, and unlike people like Arjuna, Hari Padmanabhan or Pradeep Gupta, who came because they were intelligent, now many mugpots they get into the IIT. I'm sorry to use the word, but it is a fact. They may not know why the answer is correct, but they know, they have been told this is the correct answer, they give the correct answer. That's it. And if you ask them why, they may not know. So this is something that's going to create a bad image for the IITs in the future. So we do need a change. Let us look how, for example, MIT recruits students. They get only 10 applications per vacancy. We get 100. So that itself is an order of magnitude difference. And the reason why they get 10, we get 100 is because many people feel it's a matter of luck. No, it is a gamble. So let me also try. Whereas in MIT, they do know that the probability of getting in is very difficult, and therefore the number of people who try are only the serious ones. So we should first of all make the system in such a manner that only the serious candidates they come in. Now MIT, I know the case of Harvard because I know one of my students who is a professor in Stanford. His daughter did very well in the SAT score, and she got a letter from Harvard saying you had done very well. I'm sure you will have many opportunities. I would like you to consider Harvard as one of your opportunities. It's not an offer of admission, but an expression of interest on our part. You can imagine, a young girl having so enthused about it that she got a letter from a senior official of Harvard University.